white boy. What's his name? The dude, oh boy, that plays quarterback
Whoa.
out of BYU.
Calm
So what's his
down.
name?
Calm down, freaking Montrell
Taysom,
Harrell from the Mavericks.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, Taysom Hill though.
So it's a good team, man. It really is. So
Ooh, there we go.
oh, what up, y'all? It's Mikey.
You already know who it is, Nick.
We're about to be talking about our top 5 rosters in the NFL. That's overall roster. So I want to make sure Nick understands that it's not, oh, I have Patrick Mahomes. We're number 1. We get it. You're the Super Bowl champion, but you might not be the top 5 roster.
Number 1. And but yeah, that is a good distinction to make though. You want to just look at the overall quality. Maybe they had like a dog shit record last year, but maybe they're an up and coming team who has,
Right.
some nice guys coming in, and you think they might gel better this year and come together as a team. Could have some surprises in here.
You can look at last year. It's what type of team they had last year. Usually it's not a big change from year to year in the good teams. You
Right.
can look at last year's film plus what they added in off season or what they added in the NFL draft and what we've been seeing throughout training camp because we're only a few days away from essentially the start of the season.
Yeah. Even coaches matter, new coach regime, new scenery, all that. So
Right. All right. So top 5 rosters. Who's going? I'm going first.
yeah, girl, hurry up.
All right. Well, I don't think you want to. So we're going to start from 5 and go down to 1. And I'm pretty sure before we get to 1, you're going to hate me. I'm just going to tell it like it is, I guess. All right, so number 5. Actually, I want to say on the outside looking in before I start my 5. On the outside looking in, I'm not going to give a range of what I had him at. But I had the Chargers were close to my top 5.
Oh
I think the
dang.
Chargers have a really good roster, but the quarterback is huge. Right?
It's interesting. That's a
Um,
surprise already, to be honest.
but that I didn't have in my top 5, or that I had honorable mention at, if you will.
Probably honorable mention. Or yeah.
But dude, I think they have a really good overall roster, and again, minus the quarterback, that's why they fell out. My number 5, however, I'm pretty sure a lot of fans are gonna like this. Unfortunately, there's too many fucking fans out there for America's team. The Dallas Cowboys,
Coming
to
in at
me,
number
have the
5.
5th best roster in the NFL. They have a lot of playmakers around Dak Prescott. When you bring back Amari Cooper and you have Michael Gallup, who also is a really good receiver. You got Zeke behind you. You just picked up CD Lamb in the draft. Your offensive line, Travis Frederick retired, but I think they'll be fine. I think they just have to get in shape without preseason. And then you got the linebacking core who are just studs. You got Leighton Vander Esch and was
LVE.
that Jalen Smith.
Yeah, Jalen Smith. He's a beast.
They got a steal in that draft because Jalen Smith got injured in the bowl game for Notre Dame. Remember that?
Oh yeah, didn't LVE had injuries too coming out of Boise State, didn't he? Pretty sure that's why he fell.
Yeah, but nothing as serious as Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith had a serious, and it was seriously
Oh,
nasty.
oh yeah, he blew out his knee, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Willis
yeah.
McGahee style.
Yeah, that was rough. I remember that. And then yeah, that was a steal of the draft. That's a good call.
Right. So I think their linebacking core is phenomenal. From what I've been hearing too, which is crazy to me, being a Niner fan, is Aldon Smith is looking really good in training camp apparently,
Could you
which I don't know what
imagine?
that means, but right. And they got Everson Griffin because old boy Gerald McCoy went down.
I'll tell you what, if Alden Smith can help out in any way, shape, or form to that team, Like that linebacking core, or I guess he's like a tweener, and they don't. But that linebacking core is, scary at that point.
If you look at the stats, Alden Smith in San Francisco was pretty much where Nick Bosa is now.
Yeah, yeah, like he was that
He was
highly
phenomenal.
fucking talked about. I remember
He was
that.
sneaky good. You know what I mean? It was weird. It was like he wasn't like a
Didn't he have like a
big
19
name
sack
guy, but
season?
he was. Yeah. I thought it was like 17 and a half.
Well, yeah, he had a high sack season only in like his second or third year too.
Hey, dude, when he stayed out of trouble, he was a beast. I think the Cowboys are up there. I mean, they just got to put it together, and it's going to be hard, with this type of offseason and a brand new head coach putting in a new scheme or changing things up. So it might be a little hard to start, but they're a really good roster.
Yep, I definitely agree with
The
that.
number four, number four roster of the NFL right now is the Kansas City Chiefs. Super Bowl, Kansas City Chiefs.
That's 100%
Um,
cap, but continue.
right, right. So Patrick Mahomes is the key to this team. I mean, yeah, he was out last year and they still won some games, but if he went out week 3 like Jimmy G went out last year or the year before, that team, I don't even know if they'll make the playoffs. I really don't. So Patrick Mahomes is there. He's a beast. He's got Tyreek Hill. You have Mecole Hardman. You have Travis Kelsey. So you have weapons, and the way that Mahomes gives them time, when he has a shitty game, it's an average game for other people.
When's the last time Mahomes had a shitty game though? He's I've said this a
That's what I'm
hundred
saying.
times.
His shitty game is an average game for people.
Right, because there's one like interesting thing about Mahomes I've said before is like he has never lost Kansas City the game ever. It's never been his fault, dude.
It's a good point.
Dude is the
He willed him back, and he willed him back in both games this year against Houston and against the Niners.
he
He
just
was the one
doesn't
on the
quit.
sidelines, like, hey, he was on the sideline, like, hey, let's go.
Right,
Let's
hyping him
do something
up.
special.
'Cause that team has all the talent to do it. So
Oh hell yeah, dude! And that's why they're the Super Bowl champions. It's literally Patrick Mahomes. It's the Patrick Mahomes effect. But you also have Chris Jones on the line. You got Frank Clark. You have the Honey Badger. They make plays. But then you have Damian Williams and I, I don't know his whole fucking name, but Tardif, the doctor who opted out. Those are key players that opt out. So
Laurent,
that's going to bruise
Duvernay,
your line.
Tardif. It's my boy
He's a
right there.
stud. He's guard, right? What, right guard?
Yeah, he's a guard. Yeah, he went to go be a
Right?
doctor in Canada, So
Is he a right or left?
right guard.
Okay. He's a beast, but that's a big hole to fill. But
Yeah.
also when you got your running back, and I've heard the rumblings of Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of LSU about him being a beast, but he hasn't played one snap in the NFL, so you never know.
True, he could end up like Trent Richardson and just have zero ability to
Which
see a hole to save his life. So,
which I highly doubt from what I'm hearing. I mean, they're comparing him to Brian Westbrook, apparently, is what Andy Reid said.
yeah, which that's high praise from Andy Reid. So,
Right. So they're my number 4 team. My number 3 team this is the definition of why um, rosters matter, but in the big picture, in the big game, they don't. Because if you have Patrick Mahomes, you win. And even though this team is a better roster on my rankings, they still lost the Super Bowl. Number 3 is the San Francisco 49ers.
at 3, wow,
To me, the only reason, the big reason why I made them top 3 is because they literally brought back like 90% of their team, offense and defense.
yep, that matters a lot.
That's huge, dude. You like to be able to play football without thinking basically about, okay, what am I doing? Where am I supposed to be? And if because you have the knowledge of experience on your side, you just do it and it lets you play more freely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the timing of everything is there, the rhythm, the language. They know the language. They're not getting confused on play calls. They're not running this route instead of that route. They're not,
Right,
blocking the wrong dude.
right. So that's why it was big to me. I mean, you got, in my opinion, and this is maybe me being biased, but I really like their offensive line. You have Mike McGlinchey, who held up the right hand side last year. He was injured a little bit, but still, he had like an 80 plus PFF grade. Our center Weston Richburg is injured, but Ben Garland is the one that played a lot of the time. And I believe he played in the Super Bowl, and he played pretty damn well um, for a line. And Trent Williams, like to cap, like how do you say, hey, you lost Joe Staley, who's a Hall of Famer,
Right.
but you got somebody better?
Yeah, I don't know if Trent Williams is better, but he's definitely up there. It's like
No,
1A, 1B.
well, it depends. Like you were saying before, it's also a different stage in their career. Joe Staley, dude, in my opinion, I love Joe Staley to death. One of the greatest Niners of all time, if not one of the greatest left tackles of all time. I watched every single, you know me, I watch every Niner game every single week, and he fell off, dude. Last year, he fell off. The age got the best of him.
Joe Staley looked like that old like Greek stone paint like sculpture, like that nose, like that just block nose.
But dude, the Chiefs were giving him problems in the Super Bowl all game.
Well, yeah, I mean Frank Clark and Chris Jones are no slouches, so
But Trent Williams adds another. He's just different, dude. He's just different.
yeah, he's a dog, that's for sure.
So they got that going for him, and in my opinion, they have the best defensive front seven in the NFL. Nick Bosa, D Ford, Eric Armstead. You bring in fucking huge ass Javon Kinlaw, and you have Fred Warner, who got even more yoked this year. That front seven's nasty.
Yeah, yeah, I think the Niners and the Cowboys probably are up there for top front seven. They're scary.
Oh yeah, I would put the Niners front seven above them though, only
Oh
because it's
yeah,
it's consistency.
yeah, and I like their D line better.
They're more aggressive. Oh, what the just happened? Lost my fantasy football thing. So that was my number 3. So my number 2 is Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens.
Yep, that's my number 2 roster, and can all agree Lamar Jackson is a fucking beast. He's kind of the only person, not only quarterback, on the top 1 tier list. It's Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. And then there's everybody else. So they got him.
Suck it, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, but it's different. It's different. Tom Brady's not there anymore. He's not there.
No,
Not top. He's not there anymore.
no. A lot of people give it to him still just because of his name, but
That's okay, but he's not there anymore. Lamar Jackson can make you pay on the feet. He can throw the ball. He's just phenomenal. They do have mediocre wide receivers, but when you move around and you force the DBs to cover longer than they want to, wide receivers are gonna get open. Willie Snead, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Mark Andrews at tight end is a good tight end. I think he was like top 5 last year in the NFL.
oh yeah, he was an animal, especially in fantasy. Jesus.
Right. The defense to me is top 3 defense. And then you add Calais Campbell, and then you add Patrick Queen. I mean, you lose Earl Thomas, but really, do you lose much?
I mean, Earl Thomas is still, he's Earl Thomas. He's an
Right, and
animal out there.
I'm not saying you. I mean, okay, you're losing Earl Thomas, but football is played from the front first.
Yeah, but
So
Earl Thomas, he was the play caller of that defense, and now you're handing the play calls over to who? A rookie, Patrick Queen.
right, but you know why I don't put much stock in that? Because
Maybe
there's no
maybe
fans.
Clark will do it. Who knows?
There's no fans.
Yeah, communication could be a little bit better that way
It's going
then.
to be easier. Right. Um, that's my number two. And I don't know what it is about this whole Lamar Jackson can't win in the fucking playoffs thing. Like, I still don't see him going to the Super Bowl next year. They're just not better than the Chiefs, and
Oh
it's not the
no.
overall roster. That's the hard part. It's.
It's their gimmick
I
offense.
don't know how to explain it. Yeah, I
It's
don't know how to explain it.
it's their gimmick offense. And the thing about the Ravens is their their system worked very well against in a season format where you're playing different guys, but and you're sending heat. But when you're playing an elite level team and an elite level offense like the Chiefs, when you're sitting there sending seven against Patrick Mahomes, like you already lost. If you're blitzing seven at
Right,
Mahomes, you're done. Like there's not a shot,
right, right.
and that's what they
That's a
love
good
to
point. But
do.
I mean, that's what I'm saying is that's why you can have the best roster, like the number one team on my list. You can have the best roster and not make it. Just it's what happens when you play the game.
You play to
So
win the
that
game.
so and that leads into my number one team. And they've been number one for a long time. And it's not going to be much longer because Drew Brees is going to be out of there. But the New Orleans Saints, Bobby's going to love this if he sees this video. But the New Orleans Saints, man, they got a fucking stud roster,
Yeah, shout out to
except for their
Bobby.
corners. Except for their corners. That is their only problem area if you look at that team.
Cornerbacks, yeah. But
That's it. They have good safeties. They have good linemen. They have good defensive linemen. They have good linebackers. I mean, they're average, but they're good. You know, it's a fucking good team.
Marshawn Lattimore is pretty solid though. He's young. He's still growing, but and
But isn't he
Mark
playing safety? I
Lattimore?
thought he was playing more safety.
No. No. He's their number one corner for sure. And Marcus Williams had a huge leap last year. He played really well at
Yeah, after fucking up that Minnesota Miracle game,
brutal.
he was responsible for another one this year. Wasn't he the one guarding Rudolph?
Oh yeah, against Minnesota at the end of the season there.
Yeah, so yeah, go ahead and call him a good DB if you want. I won't.
Well, he had a PFF of 88. I mean, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, but if the teams are playing from behind all the time, you know what they're gonna do.
Yeah. I'm gonna launch that bitch.
That's yeah. I mean, that's why Jim Harbaugh's defense in San Francisco was good. You just run the ball down their throat, and you know what they're gonna do. They're gonna pass because they're behind, and you're running the clock out. That's their defense with Who was it? With Carlos Rogers and fucking
Talk about the Redskins back in the day. D'Angelo Hall, Carlos
the Niners.
Rogers. Oh, I thought
Oh,
you were
the
talking.
Niners.
I don't know then.
Yeah, so New Orleans Saints, they got Michael Thomas. They added Emmanuel Sanders, who's a really good ad if you want to. He's going to have a lot of one-on-ones. Jared Cook, who was the Niners couldn't stop him in their game last year. Alvin Kamara, you said earlier, gets hurt a lot, which is true. But when he's in, he's a fucking beast.
Yeah.
They have that white boy. What's his name? A dude, old boy that plays quarterback
Whoa.
out of BYU.
Calm
What's his
down.
name?
Calm down, freaking Montrell
Yeah.
Harrell from the Mavericks.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, Taysom Hill though.
So it's a good team, man. It really is. So I think my top five is going to be better. So I'm ready to hear yours.
Well,